What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna be talking about the cost of living here in Las Vegas. All right, so like I said, today's video we're gonna be going over the cost of living here in Las Vegas, whether you're living in Vegas, Henderson, North Las Vegas, downtown, wherever you decide to live. This is gonna go over what you can expect for living here. Now, before we get into it, if you are new to the channel, be sure you subscribe down below. I do videos about Las Vegas. I take you guys through my day in different vlogs and all of that good stuff, all about living here in Vegas. So if you're interested, make sure you subscribe and click the little bell. That way you never miss out on a new video. So getting right into it, guys, I just want to let you know this video is going to be based off of my experience living here in Las Vegas. And I'm going to give you guys an idea of what I pay for rent, how much I pay for my electricity, how much I paid for car insurance, all of that different stuff when it comes to living here and just the daily costs that you can expect to pay. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the first cost, which would obviously be the most expensive, and that's gonna be the cost of living and your cost of rent or your mortgage, whatever it may be for you. In my case, this is gonna be going over rent. Now, I live here in a 1-bedroom apartment. It's about 700 square feet, and it's a brand new apartment. I'm the second person to live here, and when I moved in, my rent was $10.80 is what it started at, $10.80 plus utilities of about $38 every single month. And that includes the community water, your trash, all that like little stuff that they always add on whenever you're living in an apartment. So pretty affordable in my opinion for a 1-bedroom apartment. It may be high for some people out there, I get it. But if you compare the prices here in Vegas to the rest of the country, many places in Texas, Florida, I know where I'm from in Florida, rents are a lot higher than they are here. Same thing when I lived in LA. So for me living here, it was nice to have a lower cost of living in that aspect. Now, this was 2018 when I moved here. So since then, the rent has gone up. My renewal notice just came in and it's at $1,200. So I am actually gonna be relocating to another apartment here in about a month, but what you can expect for a 1-bedroom apartment, guys, this is definitely not the cheapest that you can find. I've seen some as low as $1,000, not here in Henderson, but I have seen them in Spring Valley. There's a couple different places by the IKEA, I think it was called Mosaic. They start at about $1,000 a month for a 1-bedroom apartment. You can do a 6-month, 7-month, 8-month, 10, 11, or 12-month lease. Obviously the prices change depending on how long you sign the lease. Typically, the longer you sign, the better of a deal you're gonna get. So if you're somebody who's looking to just do a 6-month, expect to pay more than if you did a 12-month. But one tip that I will go ahead and give you guys is when I moved in here, like I said, this was a brand new community. It was still being finished. It wasn't 100% done when I moved in, despite me being the second person living here. And they were actually offering a free month. So my first month here was actually completely free. So I really only paid 11 months of the 12 months while living here. And that's something that I see very, very common throughout anywhere, not even just here in Vegas, but if there's a new complex, the owners want to fill that place as quick as possible so they can start getting recurring income. So typically new places will give you a lower deal. They might even throw a free month in before it's finished. They're going to try to incentivize you to move in while there's still construction. Maybe all of the amenities are not done. The pool may not be finished. The gym may not be complete. There's going to be things that you're missing, and that's why you're going to get a lower price. If price is something that you need to be a certain amount, this is something that you can look for. I've seen a free month, I've seen, half a month off, and just different things. So just try to look for newer construction would be my suggestion if you're trying to get in a certain price point, or just be flexible with where you're willing to live. If you want to start and get a 2-bedroom, you're probably gonna be looking around $1,300. A little bit lower depending on certain areas, but I would say $1,300 is the average. For a 3-bedroom, you're gonna be at the $1,400, $1,500, maybe even $1,600 range. And by that point, what I would suggest is just getting a house, because you probably have a family. The more space, the better. You're gonna have a backyard and just different things that'll just be a little more better for a family living situation. So the next thing that I wanna go over is car insurance. Now, a lot of people move here and their car insurance skyrockets. Now, for me, this was not the case. I don't know if I'm just an anomaly or I'm just somebody who got really, really lucky. I have no idea. But for me personally, I was paying $256 a month living in California. The second that I moved here to Las Vegas and I switched my insurance over, it went down to $114 a month. So it went down over 50%. So it went down half the cost. And I'm not sure why, because from what I hear from everybody else, their insurance doubles, triples, quadruples. I'm not sure what factors went into that. I have not been in an auto accident I can't even tell you the last time I was in an accident. I don't have any tickets since I was like 16. So I'm a very, I guess, safe driver. I don't have any strikes on my record. I don't have any insurance claims. I don't have anything that would, entice me to get a higher premium. The car that I had insured was an Audi A4 2011. I actually just sold that car right now. I don't even have a car because I'm working from home and I wasn't really using it. So I just decided to get rid of it and get rid of that payment and that insurance and all that, cost of owning a vehicle. But for me, I'm not sure why, but my car insurance did go down. What I would do is I would call your insurance provider, say, hey, I'm thinking about moving to Las Vegas. This is the zip code that I'm looking to move in, because it will vary depending on where your car is parked. If you live in a more dangerous part of town, a more higher crime area part of town, it probably will be higher than somebody who lives like I do here in Henderson, which is considered one of the safest zip codes in the entire USA. So I'm sure that had a factor playing into it. There's people who probably, they lived on the strip or right by the strip, and that's why their insurance went up, because there's a lot more crime there than there is on this zip code where I was. So call your insurance company, let them know, and let them give you a quote so that you can actually expect what to pay when you move here before just moving here and getting a complete sticker shock. The next question that I get asked a lot is, how much do you spend on your electric and your air conditioning each and every month? Now, yes, it gets hot here in Vegas, but again, I only have a 1-bedroom apartment. So I know if you have a big house, it is gonna cost you a lot more to heat up, especially if it's a 2-story house, because the 2nd story is always going to be hotter because of the heat rising. Now, for me, in this apartment, it's about 700 square feet. I have never paid more than $55 a month. I would say my average is about $46 to $48 every month. In the summers, when it gets higher into the 55, 54, 56 range, but I've never even had a bill in the $60 range yet. And I've been through a summer here last year. We're currently in the summer. My bill last year was $43. And just so you guys get an idea of where I keep my air conditioning, I keep it on 78, 77, 78 throughout the day. And then when I get at night, I turn it down to about 74. When I'm like sitting on the couch, kind of relaxing, or I'm getting ready for bed, I'll turn it to 74, sometimes 72, depending just on how I feel. But yeah, I have it on 77, 78 most of the day. And for me, that's perfectly comfortable, and it keeps my bill pretty low. And for that bill of the $55 I'm talking about, that includes all of my electric. So any TVs, any computers, any charging, dishwasher, the washer, the dryer, all of that stuff, that includes all of that while I'm living here. So to me, that's actually pretty good. Most people, they think that living here in Vegas, you're gonna be running your AC 24/7, you're gonna be running it on 72 degrees, and you're gonna be paying this fortune. Now, if you do keep it on 72 all day, 24/7, 365, yes, you're gonna be paying a lot more money. But for me, 78 is comfortable. My air conditioning, I don't even know how many times it kicks on a day, but it's not very much. And I actually have a lot of natural light that comes in here. So with all the natural light and everything, it still does not cost me very much money to actually cool this apartment. The next thing that I want to get into is, obviously taxes are the biggest thing that you pay throughout the year. A lot of people don't think about this as the biggest expense, but typically they are your biggest expense, right up there with your rent. And depending on how much you pay for rent, you may actually pay more per year in rent. But most people, the biggest bill they have throughout the year is actually taxes. And not all of you see it right away because it gets taken out of your paycheck periodically. So you're not gonna notice it being gone as much. But if you add up how much taxes you pay over the year, it's usually around 25%, sometimes higher, sometimes lower, but it's about 25% of your income. So if you make $40,000 a year, you're paying about $10,000 in taxes. So it's something that we don't always think about. But when you're living here in Nevada, and yes, I did pronounce that correctly, I believe this time, for those of you that keep typing in the comments that I'm saying Nevada instead of Nevada. So where I lived in Florida, we did not have state income tax. When I lived in California, we did, and I was not even aware that there was a thing that existed called state income tax. And when it was the end of the year, I'm self-employed, so I have to pay my taxes at the end of the year. I was not aware that I would have a state income tax. So when I moved here to Las Vegas, I automatically saved around $2,000 to $3,000 right away from not having a state income tax. So if you're somebody who lives in California or any of the other like 45 states that actually have a state income tax, if you move here, you are gonna save a couple $1,000s off of your income tax bill, and you're gonna actually be able to keep that money versus paying that out. And that's actually a substantial savings for a lot of people. So those are the big expenses that I've kind of encountered that a lot of people ask me about. Would be the housing, the car insurance, and then just the taxes in general. That's really the biggest expenses that you're gonna have. Everything else is gonna be day to day. Your gas here, if you're coming from the East Coast, is gonna be higher, but if you're coming from California, it's definitely gonna be lower. But we definitely do not have the cheapest gas in the nation. It's still actually pretty expensive here for the gas. But besides that, overall, the cost of living here, in my opinion, is pretty low. This is my experience. This is my individual situation with my apartment, my usage. Obviously, these are gonna vary depending on how luxurious you wanna live, or if you're willing to go a little bit lower end, if you're willing to go a little higher end. Everybody lives a different type of lifestyle. So these are gonna vary for everybody. Same with your air conditioner. You may be somebody who likes it at 72 all the time because you sweat and you get hot very easily. Well, then expect to pay more for your air conditioning. If you have a lot of accidents, if you have a lot of insurance claims, expect to pay more on your car insurance. So I hope this video helped you guys out. If you have more questions about anything related to the cost of living here, or just anything about Las Vegas in general, drop down in the comments below. Any video topic recommendations, questions, comments, concerns. Last but not least, if you're not yet subscribed, smash the subscribe button down below. That way you never miss out on a future video. Click the little bell. That way you get notified when I post a new video, because I post all videos all the time, taking you guys through my day and my life here in Vegas. Other than that, guys, I'll see you in the next video.